Ever wonder how deep betrayal, manipulation, and the abuse of power can go? The case of Emma Delaney Hancock reminds one just how vulnerable our youth can be. So between this story and the court battles, it is a tale of unimaginable exploitation with such a horrific toll upon a young life. This is not only a story of corruption, but also a very vivid example of how those in positions of trust can break innocence and leave scars that never heal. Why did she do such things? How could so many witnesses remain silent? These are questions that must be asked as we face the harsh realities of this case and work to protect the most vulnerable among us. Hancock, the wife of the local police chief and the daughter of the mayor, has said she is not guilty and is out on a $50,000 bond. A new civil lawsuit against her shows more troubling details, including using Snapchat to share explicit content and set up meetings. According to the affidavit, during the first week of November when their relationship turned physical, they went on to share nude pictures and videos. Hancock had a Snapchat from the boy stating, "Are we going to send half-naked photos now?" Hancock said yes. The student replied, "I don't know, right?" The Daily Mail says that she then supposedly wrote, "Are you trying to make me lose my job?" Investigators began checking into the teacher when reports came out that she had sent the student nude pictures and that she had met Hancock in the school several times to kiss. The child told everyone. Fox 25 reported that Hancock kissed and touched him at lunch while she was hidden inside the classroom cupboards or pantries. She is said to have let the student use her vape pen. Another student knew about the 15-year-old's alleged relationship with Hancock. She said yes when asked if it was real. Hancock is said to have admitted the relationship to the student, but he said that it wouldn't amount to anything because they weren't going to get caught. Hancock, who is married to the city's police chief, Alfred Hancock, is reportedly the daughter of Wellston's mayor, according to the Daily Mail. This case points out the need to support survivors and ensure perpetrators are brought to book. This is indeed a very worrying case that brings serious allegations. The details you provided paint a rather disturbing picture of the situation, particularly regarding abuse of power and trust by an educator. The fact that the person, Emma Delaney Hancock, is a past substitute teacher charged with improper communication and action with a minor underlines the issue of vigilance and accountability in educational settings and the protection of vulnerable students. Underlines the issue of vigilance and accountability in educational settings and the protection of vulnerable students. It is commendable when such a student comes up with the courage to bring forward a lawsuit, considering it is one of the toughest steps for anyone to undertake after such abuse. Help from professionals like trauma therapists in guiding survivors through this ordeal is crucial in emotional and psychological terms. The ties to the local leadership, like Hancock being married to the police chief and the daughter of the mayor, will complicate this case in the eyes of the public. It does bring out the need for justice and transparency in the whole legal process, whereby even the highest officials must answer for their actions. As the case unfolds, it's essential to keep up the need to protect children, construct a safe environment, and help victims as they go, telling their stories to the whole world, even though this may not be an easy thing to do. Apart from that, Delaney is a daughter of Paul Whitna, who is the mayor of Wellston. This makes her dissonant between her public character and private actions, inasmuch as many community people grapple with what implication the conviction brings out to her and to the family reputation. The story of Delaney Hancock is compelling and tragic at once, weaving the story together with familial legacy, professional ambition, and grave missteps. Born into the heart of Wellston, Oklahoma, Delaney's early life held promise, opportunity, and the expectations that came from being the daughter of the town's mayor. Life had other plans for Delaney, though, an unexpected turn of events that would forever change not only her destiny, but her family and community. On Wednesday, Delaney pleaded guilty to 2 counts of soliciting sex with a minor. This time, the charge is use of a technology in furtherance of such actions. She was ordered to serve 4 years, which is appropriate for these offenses against a vulnerable child. With each emerging fact about the case, the community watches with anticipation as the rest of the fallout dawns on those given greater powers and authority. The story of Delaney Hancock now represents a tale of the role played by figures in life by adults with regards to youth and how this breaks could lead to catastrophic devastation. As investigations are pursued further, it becomes pretty apparent that her consequences were catastrophic. The law that she had once instructed her students to respect would now deliver a painful lesson to her. Delaney faced 2 counts of solicitation of a minor to have sex by using a device to facilitate communication. After the judgment of the court was pronounced, Delaney received a sentence that would sentence her to 4 years of imprisonment. Apart from removing her freedom, it stripped her of the identity of being a teacher, a wife, and a mother. Her experience made her realize how important mental health awareness should be, especially for leaders. The pressure of public expectations and personal inadequacies can push people to decisions that contradict their core. Delaney's journey into incarceration forced her to see the importance of seeking help and support rather than succumbing to secrecy and shame. As her prison term goes on, Delaney's story serves as a stark reminder for her community about the importance of vigilance and compassion toward one another. It stands as a testament to the idea that everyone, regardless of their status or achievements, must remain accountable for their actions. The road to redemption is difficult. However, it begins by acknowledging the wrongs that have been committed and beginning the healing process. The student has since filed a lawsuit against Hancock, a very courageous step given how difficult it is for most victims to come forward. Trauma specialist Sher Botwin believes that survivors take years to speak out about abuse, making the student's decision so courageous. A tale tragically reaches its climax. It turns into an inevitable one. Here is Hancock with multiple counts to answer, charges and prosecution for the crimes done over this minor. The courtroom took its place as a gruesome battleground, where this previously admired life was locked and became unyielding to an inflexible law. It's rather pitiful to imagine a lady who once devoted her whole life to the proper upbringing of young minds at her institution end up on this side of things because that same institution turned its guns against her. This came crashing down for the fulfillment of her dreams. With all the things settled in Wellston, this incident felt a lot inside the community. The school needed to set up tight policies on such issues that will prevent this from ever happening again. Families immediately needed to have a sit-down talk with their children to talk about establishing boundaries for the first time. But for many, the after effects of the scandal didn't end. The boy had to grow up with a lot of emotional pain, and Hancock's future was left uncertain. It is such a damaging tale of how relationships break down and crossing ethical lines has serious consequences. Looking back at this tragic story, it is easy to see that the outcome affected everyone involved: the students, the families, and the teachers. When trust is broken, a long time may pass before it can be rebuilt again. This reminds us all that we have a responsibility to protect those who are vulnerable. It's a sad reminder that integrity and respect are important in all relationships.